Keep keep talking.
Okay, if anyone can, Joseph wrote in external sound card. Not sure what that means, but maybe that'll help. Let me know if you guys can hear anything. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. We are still working on the technical issues that Roy has always created for us. Oh, Joseph said it's working or no working. I'm not sure. Oh, Joseph, they say they can hear now. What'd you do?
No, he didn't do nothing. I'm changing the microphone settings. Stop unplugging.
Okay. I was just checking the connection. I just wanted to make sure we
got
were
sound
plugged
back.
in.
But move the screen, though. The screen's in the way.
Oh, you want the screen moved out of the way? Wow.
Why?
Picky, aren't you, today?
It messes with me sometimes. I'm picky every day.
Well,
we're always so happy when things go wrong around here.
Of that. Huh? You want to start it all over again now? Can you hear us?
You want me to bring in the intro music?
Yeah, we'll see if you can. Yeah, let's see if we can hear anything on the intro music.
I meant me singing it, but all right.
Yeah, well, no, maybe PC1's working. So are we getting audio?
Yes.
People can't hear us now?
Yeah.
On the
Good job, Jesse.
Try the roll the intro music.
Nope. Tell him good job.
Good job, Jesse. Roll the intro music and see if it. Oh, I did. I thought I did.
On the speakers.
From the speaker.
Oh.
I didn't touch it.
Well, it wasn't working before.
It was.
No, from the inside computer.
Oh, from that stupid one. Okay. That's referred to as the Dell audio of that.
Hammer, computers.
So we are working?
Yeah.
Let's delete this one out and restart the whole enchilada again.
Why? We had to get our people on.
Well, yeah, but nobody's going to listen to like 2 minutes of doing that. So what do you vote for? That we restart again? Of that. You want to restart it or just keep going? I think we should restart it.
Jesse's going to walk out.
No, I was just going to restart the show on Facebook.
Then what's the point? We're already on.
Okay, go ahead.
You want me to start restarting?
No. Don't worry about it. So we're going to start now. Now that you can actually hear us.
Going on anymore.
Of that, yeah.
I'm too tired for all this.
Of that, we finally got the audio working on today's show. For that, we're back to at least semi where we were yesterday, where you can actually hear something on that. So here we are today, as we do, coming in a little bit later than live at 5:05 or whatever. But we are on a Wicked Wednesday.
I don't even freaking know.
That all across the board.
I didn't know what year we were in on the way here when I was talking to my mom.
What year were you zoning in on?
I couldn't think of what next year is. I don't even know the number.
What comes after 20?
A slap in your face. Minute.
Oh, that. Oh, well, hey, if you can't laugh about it on that. Lots of news breaking today on the old meter. Although we won't have audio capability to play you on the videos on that, we can at least put up some of the pictures on that. There's been a lot of news and stuff breaking on and going all across the board today, back and forth. Here's one of the ones. This is what I want to take you back to a little bit on Trump, going back to that. Our school children were taught to hate their own country. And that was what he said Friday at the Mount Rushmore deal.
Why would he say that, though?
Because they are.
They're taught to hate our own country?
Yes.
How?
Look at what's going on. We're tearing down the statues. All of the stuff that's been going on. The amount, revisionist history. Christopher Columbus, who discovered America. Well, he was a racist or this and that and on George Washington and everybody else now. We've been systematically, bit by bit, running the hate in our schools. And it's manifest in that this is what Trump said. The violent mayhem we have seen in our streets and cities that are run by liberal Democrats in every case is the predictable result of years of extreme indoctrination and bias in education, journalism, and other cultural institutions. Against every law of society and nature, our children are taught in school to hate their own country and to believe that the men and women who built it were not heroes, but they were villains. The radical view of American history is a web of lies. All the perspective is removed. Every virtue is obscured. Every motive is twisted. Every fact is distorted, and the flaw is magnified until the history is permanently purged and the record is disfigured beyond all recognition. This movement is openly attacking the legacies of every person on Mount Rushmore. They defile the memory of Washington, Jefferson, Lincoln, and Roosevelt, the four that are on Mount Rushmore. And he's exactly right. Not only in the schools, but the dominant media teaches you to hate. We've been running that, of that.
I think society's teaching them to hate. I don't see how the schools are.
The schools are, but the revisionist history that he's talking about going on. Like the green stuff they're saying. Oh, send your trash to China.
Recycle.
Yeah, send the trash to China and they burn it straight up the smokestack in incinerators and say, screw you. That is a false. All the eco-weenies that wouldn't let them clear-cut the forest and the thousands of people that died in forest fires the last 3 years, and not to mention the billions of dollars of property damage. Those are the ones, this is what we have been talking about. The innate, the anti-bullying and the whole thing, and don't stand up for yourself, and all the, we don't need cops in the schools because our schools are running, our kids are running around just terrorizing everything, but don't discipline them. We'll have a safe zone, and we'll talk about it, and all this other stuff. This is what we have been destroying. Not only the family, as Black Lives Matters is, a Marxist organization that's out to destroy the family unit and America as we know it, these indoctrinations of all the things that are going on. They've been planting these signals, and they've been teaching this, and they've been slowly taking it away. How many, when you take slavery, there is no society up until recently. Let's take from the 19th century back. There was no society, no race, no ethnicity that did not own slaves or built mostly their economy of slaves, including Africa. Go look. In the 15 to 1700s, there were more slaves in Africa than there were in the United States, or what was to become the United States of America, or the North American continent. The first case in America in 1654 was a black man who the courts decided that he owned another slave, and he won his case in court. Go throughout history, the Greeks and the Romans and the Mideast countries and Russia and everybody else have all owned slaves all through the time. So if you want to talk about reparations or that, then everybody should be paying in, because everybody's ancestry has been, or where they came from is tied into slavery. Slavery is not an American deal, but America was the one that basically tore it down. You know how many people died in the Civil War of the 1860s? How many? 600,000. 600,000 lives were sacrificed to free the slaves in the United States of America. We have been the premier leader of that. And they go back to, well, George Washington and Jefferson owned slaves and that. But they talked about how that wasn't the greatest thing in the world of that. But you don't change everything in a day. You put the process in place for that to change, and we had to kill 600,000 people to get that changed in the 1800s. We had to fight a bloody war to do it. trying to demonize or tear down the statues, like Trump says, of making heroes of those that did that is a crime. And that is what they've been teaching the hate on. They've been teaching the hate, oh, it's the white man who owned slaves. No, it isn't.
Jesse's gonna freak today. I'm so nervous. Why did you put me next to him? I love you, Jesse.
They've been systematically destroying what has been the history of the United States of America. Did they teach all this stuff? Did they teach the real history of slavery and where it was in the schools?
I mean, I think they do.
Is that stuff taught in the schools today? The
I
stuff
believe
I
so.
just rolled out.
In certain, I mean, they're not going to teach it to a kindergartner. But I believe MVUSD came out with sets of history books for each grade level that focused on certain parts of history.
And does it say in that, does it give the accurate, let's just talk of slavery or that or that. Does it tell the accurate picture of slavery? Of that every society, every race, every ethnicity, practically every economy up through the 19th century was built on slaves.
I mean, I'm sure that it's, I don't know. I got to read the book.
Because if that's the case, why would there be any talk of reparations of any kind? Because everybody is complicit. Everywhere where you came from, your
But
race.
regardless of what's taught in schools, it's what's taught at home that's going to make the difference. These kids aren't ripping down statues because their math teacher told them about slavery. They're ripping down statues because mom and dad are pissed off too, telling them, go ahead, Timmy. That has nothing to do with the schools. I mean, the part of it, yes, because they need the history, but, I mean, to blame it all on schooling, that's just crazy.
He didn't say all.
But you...
He
I know you're
said,
making
let
this
me
up.
read that again.
Well, you went on a freaking rant!
It is predictable as a result of years of extreme indoctrination and bias in education, journalism, and other cultural institutions. See, that's why we should bring that, and you should actually, this is why it is important to listen to what is actually said and not just read the headlines. You can distort, it's like that. It's like the old figures never lie, but liars figure. You can twist numbers any way you want, but 2 + 2 still equals 4. But you can take numbers and make them read like anything you want, of what you want. And when you get to the deal on that, again, it's like this. It is a whole culture we have done. We are allowing a culture to sit there and tear down and riot and debase and talk about and tear down statutes and tear down lawlessness or do lawlessness, take other people's property, and we're condoning it. We don't send the cops in. We don't do anything else. This is what we're talking about, and we're talking about, as Trump said, it's happening in all the Democratic-run cities or states. You don't see this happening, in major red states or Republican or conservative areas. It stops like it did in Yucaipa, even in California, one area. You notice how when they started to raise up, how that got stomped out real quick? I mean, look at the reality of the situation. They would change. It's like when I go back to the green example of that. When you're talking about green, they don't have any idea what's green. They're actually anti-green. They're actually destroying the planet with what they're doing.
They're telling kids to throw their crap in the trash and not on the ground. You act like they're bringing in landfills and making the kids learn how to recycle. They're telling them to throw their stuff away.
And they're saying, oh,
And where to throw it at.
because we're recycling it and we're doing this green and it's going to save the planet. Roll the rest of what they say on that.
Are you upset that kids are throwing their stuff away?
No.
Well, then, I don't
But
get
they're
it.
not telling them that the old way of doing it is just sticking it in the landfill, and we did with it. No, they're saying, oh, we're recycling.
So now you want a
and we're saving.
landfill lesson on what happens with your trash and all the
Yes.
gases and everything that you can make in school systems. You want to pay for that?
We are paying for it.
But
20
do you wanna
grand a
pay for
copy.
that? Do you want to pay for that class?
There are. We're paying 20 grand a copy. Let's teach what the policy is of what they're talking about, what recycling and green planet and carbon emissions and all this other stuff that they lump into that. It starts with that first iota. Oh, yeah, throw your trash away. We're going to recycle. We're going to make a green planet. Everything's going to be hunky-dory. Yada, yada, yada. When systematically they're destroying the planet, they're wrecking the
You're
economy.
just being negative.
It's not negative.
You're being
it's
negative.
Well, is Trump
They're
negative?
teaching kids a little bit. Yeah, hell yeah, he's negative. At times, not all the time. He's funny.
Is Trump
he's a lot
telling
of
the
things.
truth?
I think the teaching kids to recycle, put plastic bottles, go take them, cash them in for money, reuse your money to get more soda or water, whatever. Go have a fun day.
You know, you're actually losing money by doing that
Oh my God, Roy!
because they charge
There's no
you.
winning with you.
They charge you for the bottle or can or whatever, and then you get less. Let's say they charge you a dime per container. Then you get 5 cents back, and you're happy.
I am.
You're happy losing 5 cents.
Whatever. At least I got
50%.
something back.
You're happy
It's
losing.
better than throwing the whole bottle away and not getting anything.
You didn't get anything. You lost 50 cents. You lost 50% of your wealth by doing that because you had a dime.
So then, what do you suggest? We go to Lake Paris. We bring the buckets and the barrels, and then we scoop some water, and then come back home. Maybe boil it over a campfire. Sing Kumbaya.
Sounds good to me. And pick up your trash and throw it in the trash can. Or take it home.
And the green one or the brown
It
one?
doesn't matter. No, there should be one trash can. You throw it in there.
You can't. The way things are made these days, you can't just burn everything. Right?
Why not?
Because what if toxins are released?
Why can't you throw everything in the landfill?
Because it's going to mess up the land. Some stuff just shouldn't be buried. Why can't you take a water bottle that you've been drinking out of, recycle it, and make a new one? What's wrong with that?
Because they're charging
cleaning
you
it.
more to actually do what should not have been done. Now, scrap metal is a different story.
How is that a different story?
because
How does that?
you get more value out of it than what you did. So, and they're not charging you. They don't charge you a scrap metal fee when you buy your car for recycling everything. That you're only going to get 50% less or 25% of what you paid in. That's what you get. What you don't get is you're losing money by doing.
By
You're
buying bottles
losing
of water.
your wealth.
I'm
Yes.
losing money.
You're losing
Then what
money
am I
on the
supposed to do?
recycling.
What am I supposed to do then?
Over just throwing it in the trash and throwing it in the landfill. Plus, you're destroying the planet with all the carbon credits and all the
Like
other
what's
thing and
calling 'em?
stuff.
So I buy a 24 pack of water,
Yes.
and you say it's better for me to just throw it in the trash and not recycle.
No, it would be better not to pay the dime charge or whatever that they charge.
The
you-
CRV tax?
Yes.
To not pay that.
Yes.
Well, we can't get rid of that. So
No,
then
you
what?
can get rid of. They can get rid of that tomorrow.
They're not going to. So
Well, yeah, because we're stuck on stupid.
okay. So being stuck on stupid, I buy the 24 pack of water.
Yes.
Pay the CRV tax because we're stupid, and then what? Throw it in the trash. Don't recycle the bottle.
Well, no, as long as you're you might as well get 50%. I'm not saying don't get
That's what I'm
50%
saying.
of your money back. Why don't you lobby your government to get rid of the tax and go back to the way it was?
Because I don't think they really care what I have to say. So I'm gonna recycle the damn bottles. Go get some freaking money. Be happy when I get $10 after my hard work.
So so every day when you get up and you got a $20 bill, you would take it, cut it into 2 tens and throw $10 in the fireplace.
I'm about to throw you in the fireplace in a minute.
Because that's what you're doing.
I can't get rid of the tax, so you're acting like I have control over that. Like I'm gonna take
You
a $20.
do.
I don't even have a $20 bill to rip.
Then
Carol, give me your 20, and then I'll see what happens in the morning when I wake up.
Well, this is what
I'll let you know.
This is what they should be teaching the kids, is you are taking wealth out of your pocket by doing this.
Because
and
then
you are
that's teaching kids to be so negative already. You're paying a tax. I
yeah.
mean,
Why aren't they teaching the kids to get rid of the tax and get rid of the stupid politicians? Don't vote for ding-dongs that put this stuff in. Else you will wind up destroying yourself.
Joseph, I don't know what you want me to make happen, but I'll make it happen.
of that.
What did you want me to hit?
This is why. This is why
That was for Joseph.
I said
got you.
they should be teaching as a curriculum Milton Friedman's Free to Choose. If you run through that 10
Let's
hours,
see how that goes over with parents.
if you run that 10
having their
hours,
students taught that.
yes.
No, you don't get to dictate what kids are told nowadays. Hate to break it to you.
So they get to determine it.
Yeah.
Who gets to determine it?
I don't know. Not you.
Somebody has to come up with a curriculum that's teaching them all this BS. That same person can change
Brandon,
it.
we're not friends.
I bet you Brandon was agreeing with Roy.
Probably not. Forgot how to read all of a sudden. Steven writes in, until he changed the law, you should recycle so you can get some of your money
I'm not
back.
saying don't do that, but what the insanity of that is still going with this policy and teaching this that it's okay or that this is good or you're doing something good. You are
Because you're making the best of a crappy situation. There's nothing wrong with teaching a child that. I teach my kids that all the time.
and never correct the underlying.
Yeah, I'm gonna say go up and complain about the 10-cent tax that you're paying on the water bottles, and let's make it change. Then what? Did you know Oregon doesn't take recycling bottles? You're only allowed to get like $10 a day in recycling. That's it. From what I've heard from a resident that lives up there, I don't know.
Again, it's stupid on patrol. And again, what it's doing, it's systematically taking opportunity out of each and every one of us every day because they're artificially rising the cost on everything. And we are going backwards. You are going backwards. Your kids are going backwards, and you're teaching them to go backwards. Instead of saying, "Why, get out there, and if you don't correct this stuff, you are going to go backwards."
Got 1
Hi,
minute.
John.
Hi, Stephanie.
That's part of my day right there.
Of the deal. No. It's just like the whole deal of of the deal. No, it's just like that. The whole deal of Trump. Yesterday they had a big conference about reopening the schools up.
30 seconds.
Why don't we try that? Yeah, let's try. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see if we can. We'll see if it works. Yeah, we might as well see if we got trouble with the phones on that. Be a second. Tell them it'll be a second on there, or who's ever on the phone. It'll be on the. It'll be a second or two.
Here we go,
roll
guys.
Into KMET.
And gal.
Free phone app today. IE Newswire Daily is on the air.
The following is a paid program. Views and claims expressed are those of the program producer and are not endorsed by this station. Opinions expressed are not necessarily those of radio station KMET, its management, employees, or affiliates.
I hope you heard that. Are we actually working on the on PC1, or did they hear that? I think we may have been making some progress on all.
That's a recording.
Oh, that's a stage. Oh, you sent it. Oh, I
That's
see.
Sandra.
Okay, that's a good improvised deal of going on, of what's going on. We did actually get the bumper music on the that as we roll into the monument. KMT 1490 AM, broadcasting all over the Inland Empire as the audience joined us as we were sorting out some of our technical difficulties.
That's always
of that.
fun. We like to keep you guys on your toes.
On that, yeah, on a Wicked Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Well, yeah, we got on the sync meter on that. Things are flowing into shape on this.
Yeah, it's great.
We're talking about the recycling and all the other stuff and how the Trump's deal on Mount Rushmore, and it got sidetracked into a broader discussion. But we're going to test the phone lines to see if those are working today. So if we have a caller on
I'm ready.
There we go. Who we got on the line?
You got Doris Mann on the line.
Okay, hang on. So if you're in the comment section, tell us if you can hear Doris on that. But go ahead, Doris.
All right, I called in on this to join in on this conversation. This is just right down my alley.
Well, give it a
Being
shot.
that I happen to be 80-some years old. I have got children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, so I've been around a long time. And I'm very close to them. And then, and I can testify to what you said, Roy, that basically that it is what is being projected now out on the streets is what we have been taught, not about history. If you want a history, listen to David Barton. He's excellent. And not only that, my children, I'm close to them, so they have talked all these years to me, and you're absolutely right. And then since 1992, I have attended some type of college, regular college, and the only place that I got something that was positive was when I went to theological seminary. So, I can remember being in college and they brought a racist that was back from the 60s in to talk to us. And in psychology class, the things that we discussed. And so, you're right. I've been around a long time. I've seen it, and it started a long time ago, and it just keeps manifesting as time goes on.
Doris, let me ask you a question here, just so everybody. What part of the country are you in right now?
I'm in Memphis, Tennessee.
So, and across that, you said you have children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren across your 80 years, and they're probably spread. There are probably a majority of them in Memphis, but I imagine some of them live in other parts of the country too.
No, they live here in all.
They're all concentrated in your area. So
and they're all the way from kindergarten through past colleges. We're talking about nurses and things and psychologists. So we're talking about a wide range of time.
So you, even up to today in the colleges, through your children, grandchildren and stuff, have experienced this and seen exactly what Trump is talking about, what I'm talking about, of the indoctrination in the schools, not only from, and it doesn't stop, and you brought it to a great point, I'm glad you brought that up about, it doesn't stop until, I don't care if you get a PhD. The stuff doesn't, the insanity of the revisionist history that goes on is absolutely astounding.
You're right. You're absolutely right. So, like I say, I've been around a long time, and so I've lived through it and I've seen it.
You got it. Thanks a lot for giving us that report
Doris.
And testing out our phone system. At least we got that part working on the deal. Thanks for calling in.
Bless you all, guys. You do a fantastic job. You and Stephanie both.
Thank you.
See, you got a compliment.
I did. I like Doris. Me and her are like this. We tight. She meant I was right too, but I mean, I don't know if you guys heard that. She did slip it in there.
So no, we're going back because you're seeing it again, sweeping across, and we did the Trump deal of Monday when he was doing it. They had a big 3+ hour summit of of how to getting our schools open in September, and as we got up on the deal in the deal and roll it up. This is what Trump tweeted. In Germany, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, and many other countries, schools are open with no problems. The Dems think it would be bad for them politically if U.S. schools were open before the November election. But it is important for the children and the families we may cut off funding if not open. So that sparked a deal. And you're hearing all the fear-mongering that's been going on with all the this and the that and the deal. Now you've heard, we've had schools closed down, since
Oh my
March.
gosh. Yeah.
They're not, the teachers' unions are apoplectic.
I don't even remember what it was like.
They
to go
don't
to
want to
school.
go back to class. They're running everything, and we're going to, we're talking about half days, social distancing, no playing out in the playground, no sports, no eating lunch, no nothing, 6 foot, half days, and all this other stuff. Now, you've heard this about coronavirus and spreading and all this deal. For all of you that want information, and put the links in our comment section to this. Roll this up on the screen. Center for Disease Control never recommended that schools closed, senior administration official said. We didn't feel that there was really an effective public health strategy that needed to be operationalized, explained the official who noted it was really critically important that our schools open. So to all of those that are saying, oh, it's dangerous, coronavirus is going to kill us all, yada, 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 the Center for Disease Control never recommended that schools be closed ever for
I
coronavirus.
can see at the
or
beginning,
anything else.
though. Like, it was the week before spring break, shutting down a week early. I mean, that was like, all right, if you didn't know what was going around. I mean,
Yes.
for the precaution and the safety of my children and my family. Totally. I mean, I appreciate that. But now it's like, seriously? I'm going to open my own school if they don't open school. I'm going to do it.
I think that's going to be a big charge going on. I bet you the private homeschooling
Kids need the
charter
kid-to-kid
schools-
interaction.
Yes.
They need that.
No,
My kids
oh,
are
I'm
feeling
glad
it
you
so
said
bad right now.
that. I'm glad you said that.
Oh, no. Why
This
are you
is
so
a
damn
oh,
happy?
they beautiful.
Ah,
I'm
scared.
I'm perfect. Yes. And wasn't that
Calm down.
wasn't that and I've heard it from school boards, from locally to teachers unions. I've heard it from teachers sitting right in one teacher in particular sitting right in the seat that you were sitting in, say, deface our charter schools and all that, or homeschooling, because kids need the interaction. This is why they should all be in school, because they need the socialization. Homeschooling.
You can still get that with charter school.
Yes, but especially in homeschooling or that, or online schooling especially, but charter schools and stuff, because a lot of charter schools, were on like the half day. You only went like 2 days a
Right.
week or stuff like that, or half a day or whatever. And now, oh, the kids are deprived of that. All the way down, they came up with every stupid excuse. Now, with coronavirus, what are the teachers' unions and the liberal left and the school board saying? Oh, it's dangerous for the kids to be socializing and that. And we can't have them. Now we got to have them 6 feet apart. We can only have them to school half a day or 2 days a week and yada, yada, yada. Boy, isn't now, as they're collecting their full salary and they don't have to go to work, they don't have the expense of driving to work and everything now, probably working less hours and everything else, they ain't lost a dime. They're getting a better deal. They haven't lost. They name me the teacher that lost a job over coronavirus, and I'll name you 100,000, a million, probably infinity.
I think a couple might have quit.
People, no, the
But you know what?
lost.
During this, and I do need to stick up for MVUSD teachers, because particularly my students' teachers, at least at La Jolla Elementary, they worked way harder during this than they did while at school. It was way harder. I mean, you have kindergarten teachers trying to do Zoom with 5-year-olds. Do you know how challenging that is? That was, I mean, but she took it on her own to go out of the way and go above and beyond. But that's how La Jolla rocks.
It could be, but I just heard one teacher said, "Man, this is like duck soup."
Well, I mean, yeah, but you always have those ones that might.
Well,
be
yeah. I mean, in the
taking
aggregate,
advantage. You always have people that take advantage of.
In the
the
aggregate
situations.
Of all this stuff, you're working less hours. In the aggregate,
Yeah.
you're working less hours for the same pay. You don't have the expense of driving back and forth 5 days a week and all that, and
Right.
all the hours. So you're actually getting a pay raise on the deal. So like you say, name
But you
the
can't blame teachers for that. You got to blame the stupid
No,
government.
they did. Their unions threatened them right
You
off
got
the
to blame the
get-go.
government, though. They're the ones that
When-
shut down everything. If the
when-
government didn't shut down everything, they wouldn't be doing that.
When Newsom in March threatened to close down the schools,
We're arguing so much today.
the teachers' union said, "What about us? You can't cut off our paychecks. You can't close the schools." He said, "We're guaranteeing the state of California, which means you and me and everybody else are going to guarantee your salaries and you're getting paid." That was the end of that. So because
Well,
it's all about the dollars.
So if somebody said, you go and sit in this place and I'll give you money, you would argue that? Who would argue that?
They're not too. When
I'm just saying.
they're saying that.
But aren't teachers
and
on
again-
a contract, though? So they already signed that contract last May.
to teach
Last May.
to teach in a school
And
classroom.
they taught all the way until that Kedzior did not. Some school districts closed early, like a week or two early. Kedzior did not let our teachers.
I'm not
fall
talking
short.
about.
I'm just saying
talking
in
about
general.
In the state of California, when that came up, they ran. As soon as you said you're getting paid, silencio. We don't care if the kids are getting an education or not or anything else. As long as we're getting our money, everything's fine. We don't care about the hundreds of thousands or millions or what is it, 20 million that lost their jobs in the private economy. Screw them.
Well, that's our governor.
They
That's
didn't
where
take,
we need to go up there. And
why
we need to
didn't
get
they
rid of 'em.
voluntarily say, well, to help things out, we'll take a 10% pay cut during this?
Well, who? I can't afford to take a 10% pay cut because the governor decided
Can you
to be
afford
an
to take a
idiot.
100% pay cut?
I can't afford to take any type of pay cut.
Well, there you. I mean,
I don't even
it's
get enough pay to get anything
it's
cut.
realistically to do that. Let's say to show support. Everybody's on this feel good to show support for all the people that lost their jobs.
No, and I get that. I respect
and
that.
we're not having the expense of having to drive back and forth to school every day. So
you want teachers or any
wouldn't it
individual
have been
to
a
donate money
nice
back?
gesture of them to say, okay, during this pandemic where we're teaching from home, we'll all voluntarily take a 10% pay cut to help solve the $54 billion deficit in the state of California and show solidarity with all of the ones that have lost their jobs over this.
Well, that would mean that we would have to live with civilized human beings, and we just don't live in that kind of world anymore. So that would never
Thank
happen.
you.
Except for there's a good handful. I know you would. I know I would if I could. I mean, that's why we went out and supported the local businesses and small
Teachers-
businesses. But
Teachers, the average teacher salary in California is at $100,000 a year.
bull crap.
But
Bull
want to
crap.
bet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where the hell are you getting those? Up in La Jolla, San Diego?
No. From Transparent California, which tracks every salary of every public employee paid in the state of California. And you prorate that because they only work 9 months out of the year. You prorate that on a full year scale, that's $128,000 a year, I believe, average. And they get, so you want to, whatever amount of money you are. The only one, we're the second highest. New Jersey is highest.
I don't think teachers even get paid enough for what they do. Some of them probably shouldn't maybe even be having a job. But
And we're 48. We're 40s in the ranked against the ones that we're on the top salary are. You think we're getting value for our money on that?
sometimes.
No. Do you think 40th, 42nd in education, but second in teacher salaries? You think we're getting value?
I think your numbers might be a little off.
They're not.
I don't know.
You wanna bet it?
MBUSD got a lot of awards for their.
I don't care what I don't care about trophies and awards. I care about results.
Why do you think they get awards?
MBUSD
Because they get results.
is what number 20? What number 19 or 20?
They were like
out of,
number 2 in the freaking county.
out of 20.
They were number 2 in the county
in
with
test scores. In
yes.
test scores.
I'll bring it in.
Yeah, brilliant. I want to
'Cause-
see that. They're above Temecula,
They got it
they're
up a
above
lot.
Murrieta, they're above Corona Norco because last year when the test scores came out, they were 19 out of 23.
Oh, wow.
I bring it up all the time, and none other than MBUSD was inflating the gains on that on their reports, and they had to admit that finally begrudgingly. Tell me that MBUSD is honestly reporting to the citizens and the parents of California that because it's on record of what's going on
But how long ago was that?
this year. Kezia Dora said, I've got the results and we're looking good and all this stuff, and he inflated the numbers.
I don't know.
So
not gonna
you
make a
tell
comment
me,
on that.
are they honest?
I think so. I want to see where
You
he.
want-
I
you
want
want
to see where
bogus-
he admitted that
You want to see
because
bogus
I've
numbers
seen a
come in.
lot of. I've been to a lot of the meetings. We get our own little training, and I've seen a lot of things that they have accomplished.
I want to see the
I think-
standardized test scores in English and
But then you
and
want
math.
to have an economic
That we are
class
number 2 in the
being taught
county
how
of
to
Riverside.
recycle.
That
But then
we
you're
are
worried
number
about
2.
test scores.
You said they were number 2.
You make no sense.
You said we're number 2.
I said we got an award for being number 2 in something. I got to check it though.
I'm talking on the standardized English and math test scores.
He's driving me crazy, Doris.
of that. I want to see where
But you can't
NBUSD
say.
is
So
number
you
2.
want their test scores to be higher. You want to be number 1, obviously. You want more economics in the district. You want now a recycling program. You want to bring farming back, correct? Look at how much crap you're asking for from a district. With 200, how many residents are in Moreno Valley? 280,000?
How many students are in Moreno Valley?
About 180,000, 130,000?
Like
300.
34,000.
Mm.
We have
Really?
a
Is that it?
population of a little over 200.
No, we have like 289,000.
Our population's about 205.
No.
She just recently crossed over the 200.
No.
We are not
We're almost
289,000.
to 30 or to 300,000. I'm going
Check-
to Google it right now.
Yes, check the population of Moreno Valley, California. The only one that's over 300,000 city of Riverside. We are the second biggest city of that, and we just crossed. We're about 210, I think. The last a couple of years ago,
I argue with you because I'm always wrong.
we just crossed over 200,000 a couple of years ago, about 3 or 4 years ago.
I'm never going to learn.
Again, that's what I'm saying. Do not buy into the false rhetoric of what they're going on all
My
this
phone
stuff.
died. I can't
This is
Google.
why, of course, because I'm right.
Shut up.
And all
Okay,
that.
estimated
and I'm right.
population
Look,
is 213,000.
I've had people, I've had your school board members and staff try to discredit me and stuff on that stuff. And when I was proven right, do you hear them say, you know what, we made a mistake? And explain to me why? Explain to me why you're. I have sitting there in the meetings and waiting for the day when they're explain to me why they're doing that. And I'm looking at the chief academic official, and she doesn't even know. It's a good thing the other guy, the IT official, said, "Well, yeah, he's right. And she's looking. Oh, I can't figure this out." I'm thinking, "Oh my gosh."
I think
And
you
I'm
need-
a
I
ditch
think you
bank
need to-
Okie from Edgemont.
You are, and you know way too much. It's annoying. Anyways, I think you need to give them more credit, though. They are getting a lot of stuff up. I mean, students are doing a lot of great things in the district. They really are. They're doing a lot of great things. Like their asterisk program, where students during summer, before the shutdown, they get to go and have like a job at like CBS. They work with different businesses, and they get to work for the summer. They get to learn stuff, like what you want them to be doing.
Yeah, go ask and go look at the tapes of when Roy went up
Oh,
there.
shut up.
and
Be
said-
positive for a minute.
and
We don't
said-
want to hear about what Roy said.
And said, you know what? Why don't you start? We could use an intern here at the radio station, teaching them how to do radio stuff.
Yeah, because they're going to give Roy Blackadder to intern. Come on.
See what the reaction was, and see what the reaction is from other people on that. And you want to talk cooperation and stuff?
Why? I'm sorry. Really? Come on. I love you. That's all I'm going to say. We do need an intern, though.
Exactly. But watch the
I know.
watch.
I thought I was going to say a bad word. Why the heck do you need an intern, homeboy?
Why is that? Well, I said, I'll help you out with your intern. We'll teach them how to run it. Teach them how to be studio engineers, run cameras, do all the stuff that it makes to put on a video production and all that stuff. And look at the reaction I got.
What'd you get?
Go look at it.
I don't want to.
Go ask.
Why don't you just tell me?
Go ask the superintendent.
No.
It's on tape, like all the other stuff. So
Is there
again,
like a chuckle?
you have to
What?
question your government.
No.
You should.
But, I mean, you get what you give. And I love you, and you're right a lot, but you go in there and you tear these people down. And, I mean, I don't blame them. Not that you're wrong, because you're not sometimes. But, I don't know. Anyways.
I'm waiting for the day that they are going to say anything I've ever said up there was wrong.
Do you think you're going to get it when you come at them like that?
I want to see that.
You're not.
Wait, well,
It's about
I didn't
approach.
ask for
You
it.
don't approach correctly. You got to do it respectfully. And then you'll get respect. Nobody says
Really?
they have to be nice to you.
Go back and look at some of the stuff that's went on across this whole board.
I don't want to.
Again, the
Anyways,
record,
what is this?
it's on the deal.
Talk to me.
This is your good state
Yeah.
of California.
Okay, moving on.
No singing or chanting. Conservatives object to California worship restrictions. You no longer, now, if you're in a house of worship in the state of California by dictator Newsom, You cannot sing in the choir, chant, or do anything else in your house of worship. That has been determined to be illegal and a crime in the state of California. Again, I don't know why if there should be a reason to be rioting in the streets, these are some of the things that it should be in there. This is what you should be doing of that. I mean, what more are you going to take on this stuff? I mean, are you supporting the governor, the state of California on that's coming up with these draconian rules, that closes down your schools, that turns them upside down, that switches gears on a 180 dime? No matter, this is the reason charter schools are bad, homeschooling is bad, because kids don't get social interaction.
We're going back to that again.
Because of that, I mean, what, is there, why would you support anything like this? For what reason?
What are you talking about? Who's supporting what?
Everybody.
You're just ranting. You don't even know what you're saying at this point anymore.
Why would you be rioting in the streets and demanding your schools be open now?
Because it's summer vacation and we have nowhere to go.
Well, yeah, because they've been off for 3 months. That's a good thing to get them back in. They can't go anywhere anyway.
Now you're going to take away my summer?
What are you going to do? You've had summer for 3 months.
I know, but we couldn't go anywhere.
But you can't go anywhere now.
You can go to the beach.
No, you can't. They close those down.
They close the parking. Calm down before you hurt yourself, little man.
Now we're getting to insult. No. Look at who's insulting and being negative.
Hey.
Huh? who's
You're driving me
insult?
crazy today. Go back to your thing.
FBI director says China aims to become the world's only superpower. As we work that on the deal, FBI Director Christopher Wray gave a speech today at the Hudson Institute in Washington, D.C., which laid out more detail of why the China threat and the FBI has been ever present or more. Why it matters China's increasingly aggressive behavior under Secretary Xi Jinping is ringing alarm bells in the U.S. Wray described a multi-pronged effort that you have been sent from China on that. It goes back to the TikTok thing. TikTok is all run by China.
Is it really?
Yes.
Are they getting rid of it?
They're giving all your information that you're doing on that. This is what we're doing. Now,
Do I need to get off TikTok?
Yes, all of it. Get rid
all
of social media is going to be the downfall.
I can't get rid of social media because we work on social media.
Of that. I want to get to this one, hopefully.
Where's 2 minutes, dude? You got like a minute and 30.
There's
20.
another deal. We'll get into this tomorrow or Friday. In Seattle, in the city, it's just come out. They've been indoctrinating the kids the employees up there. Get this.
What are you talking about?
They've been calling. You have to now go on there and get training or something to declare your whiteness. This is what's
Wait, what?
Yes. This is what's being trained in Seattle. Any form of anti-racism which argues individualism, objectivity, or intellectualization are attributes that somehow especially characteristic of whites is in fact a form of racism. Writer and professor Yushak Monk tweeted, "This is the diversity training that's going on to city employees in Seattle. If you believe in individualism, intellectualism, or objectivity, you are a racist." You think this world ain't going frickin' insane?
Well,
This is from Chris Raffo. He discovered it and posted it on City Journal today. The whole thing is going crazy on this thing. We'll get into it more. The world is going absolutely nuts on the deal of that.
Buddy.
And we will, hopefully, we'll have our equipment
and hopefully
working
you'll
back
calm down
tomorrow.
a little bit.
Probably not, because we're all going crazy and we're gone.
We're gone.